So, navigating the hallways in a new place can be very difficult, and it can be very much anxiety inducing or cause people to be late or delayed in many ways, and this is especially important for disabled people in many ways because higher chance of anxiety, worse navigation issues. They might have to go to a hospital or something and find building codes and numbers, and so on and so on. So here are just a couple quick ideas I have to maybe improve the system. The first idea is that a better way of numbering rooms. Now first I want to make a room number a 4-part number. Well, not really fully a number, but I'll get to what I mean. And the first part, well, 4 to 5 parts actually. The first part is gonna be like your standard room number, and maybe with some hallway or floor designator, like 8A for Hall Atwater from a university I went to, or something like that. Now the second part is, and to the 5th or 4th part is where I have it different, or 3rd to 5th part. And that is, you take the whole school on that floor, and you split up into a grid. Let's say a 3x3 grid. And you have a coordinate system. Let's say on going up and down, it's 1, 2, 3. From sideways, it might be A, B, C. Well, this coordinate system, then you use that to make a coordinate system where you have the left and right, or in one direction, how much you travel. Another one, you have a coordinate system. In other direction, how much you travel back and forth. Therefore, a person can kind of see from any room where do they have to go more left or right, or in some other direction. And we'll get a better feel when the hallways might be winding or twisting to navigate the place. Then the last one that might be additional is a number to indicate the room, the floor. Now to make this numbering system a little bit more clear, we can do a couple things. First of all, we can have it so that each section is split up by dashes or something else to clearly denote it. We can have a standard system that certain aspects of the numbering system come in certain orders. That way people know, hey, this comes first, then this comes first. Another thing is we can make some things a length of, make all the distance info a standard length of maximum of 3. Or we can make it just a standard length of 3. 3 is about the most numbers a normal person can memorize that's not separated, and 3 can give you a high level of accuracy. The problem with it being 3, of course, is that it might lead to very long numbers. So maybe less, but I'm saying a maximum of 3 each part. Sometimes there will be ones because they might land into the same X or Y space. But by then you're pretty close to your room, so other information will give it to you. And this way we can also include using the system bathrooms and much more, and give you about the location they are. So the second part I have is to just put more maps and signs around the building of the design and layout of the building, with maybe more of a clear section map or subsection map. You could even in the future make these maps interactive to some extent. Now, how would you make these maps interactive without wasting a heck of a lot of energy? Well, one way of doing that is to have something like e-ink or display, which is a display that you see in the Kindle stuff, some of the older Kindles, that doesn't use any energy to stay in a certain way, but you can still use it. So if you have an image that stays like that, now it can't refresh as fast, but uses less energy. Also, the maps and signs should be in clearly designated spaces and much more frequently hang up. You can also have maps that are split up into a bunch of submaps to make it more clear for people to understand. That means more maps from ones that are more clear. For example, you can have a map with just the classrooms and a map that shows the general layout of building but only makes the bathroom standard layout. So another thing we can do is just have signs or markers on the floors to help with navigation. Just another idea. We can also have more signs and stuff with helping navigation on the walls and numbering systems on the walls. A fancier thing we could do is something called RPS. And RPS is, or IPS, Room Positioning System, or IPS, Indoor Positioning System. Basically, think about it like GPS for inside the building. Now, setting up programming this on an individual scale all by itself is very complicated and difficult. But what if people made a standard system that you can add a map to, let's say, Apple Maps or Google Maps or something, and they upload, then you can have like a link that if Google or something detects your location, you double click the link and it opens up your indoor navigation for the nearby building. And by having it as a standard system, someone can learn how to update it themselves. And we can add in tools that one person can just walk around a building and just scan in, and using the GPS or movement system on the phone, make a rough map. And we're really getting to a point that technology could do that. So that's one. You could even have a volunteer program if you don't want to have an official one, an official one uploaded. And one system to see if the volunteer ones are actually good or not. Another quick thing to help with navigation that might sound a little silly. Oh yes, one thing about the grid coordinate system I forgot to say is, in different sections you can alternate between letters and numbers to also help more clearly delineate it. And letters could actually make it more compact because you have more letters than digits, so you can fit more in less space. But a little more confusing people is the letter number system. So another thing we could do to help people navigate in these situations that might seem a little silly at first is handrails in more parts of the building that are indented into it. This could help people with mobility issues or sudden faintness to help with walking and stuff like that. It could also help people with, for example, sometimes I suddenly feel dizzy or something. These handrails could just give me an extra level of comfort. Or I feel like, or I forget to take a mobility device with me or other people. And sometimes handrails can work better than canes or something for certain tasks. And as the day goes on, you might go from needing one to not needing one, and vice versa. You didn't want to take a mobility device the whole time with you. So little thing like that. Now, there is the point that handrails will use up some space in the hallways, which might not be best. You can't put them on doors. And there is also the point that handrails might be something for people to bump into and get hurt. The way to fix the problem about bumping into it and getting hurt is maybe putting some cushioning on it. Another idea to just help with navigation and in a new building is to make class designs that minimize movements in between classes and make sure the classes are close to each other. And one way of doing that is that you have an algorithm that looks at everyone's schedules and figures out, oh, these people move from here to here, most likely, so let's set up the classes so the people travel the least distance in between classes every single time, And we also give them more time if they can travel, if they are traveling a farther distance. Again, this is not perfect because you can't optimize for everybody. You could do some other things to maybe work this out so people have to travel less. Maybe you make some of these classes more virtual, and then you ask for how many people are virtual so you can get some people that never have to go to class, out of class. Maybe. Another one, the last one, is to have more food options in the hallway with vending machines that give better food and stuff like that, so people are more less likely to have to travel to any place to get food and will more likely stay there. And if you have more places for people to sit down in between times, more likely to sit down and come in early and spend time in the building, actually, and get to know the building. So if you have nicer places to sit down. Well, thank you very much for listening. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year, and 4,000 watch hours. So anything that you do here, we very much appreciate. Also, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. If you have any ideas for future videos, comments, or suggestions, or questions, leave in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Goodbye.